Hey everyone, welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pro wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. I'm your host, my name is Victoria Daisy, and today we are going to be recapping everything that happened last night on Friday Night Smackdown. It was a really good show, but before we dive deeper, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's get right into it because the opening segment was the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble winner, main event, Jey Uso, Yeet. So just like Monday Night Raw this past week, the crowd wouldn't stop yeeting. And when his music went off, just like Monday, they asked to yeet again. And what did Jey do? He yeeted again. It's moments like these that are magical, and it's moments like these that truly make a superstar their own being, the superstar. And it was just crazy. They wouldn't let him talk. They kept chanting, "You deserve it." It was the most wholesome thing ever. This week with Jey has been unreal, and I feel like by the city, the crowd has gotten more intense. So Jace begins cutting his promo, and, he said that his goal is to end up picking a champion to face at WrestleMania, but, he's got to weigh out his options. He has unfinished business with both Gunther and Cody, and so he doesn't know who to pick. Obviously, I think at the end of the day, we know he's going to pick Gunther because there's more unfinished business there. Him and Cody are friends, and I don't think he'd want to necessarily jeopardize that. So he called out Cody, and then Cody came. Jey said he has two choices. One would be to face Cody and take his title, or two, take Gunther's title and then stand side by side with Cody, both as champions at WrestleMania, which would be the cutest thing ever. It would be so full circle because if you remember last Survivor Series, they were both tag team champions. Or was it last Survivor Series? I don't remember. Sometime last year. Was it Bad Blood? I don't remember. Sometime late last year, they were tag team champions. So to have that full circle moment of them both being champions, not just tag team champions, would be absolutely amazing. So Cody then says he knows that this is Jey's choice and it's his WrestleMania. It's Yeet Mania. Cody continues on to say if Jey picks him, that in order for his story to be complete, he has to retain and beat Jey. So that's interesting. The fact that, we know that Cody Rhodes finished his story at WrestleMania 40 when he beat Roman Reigns for that WWE Undisputed title, but now he's saying that it's still incomplete. I don't really understand that. How is it incomplete? You completed it. You finished it. So he said that if Jey picks him, then the only way for this story to finish is for him to beat him. I don't get it, Cody. Why are we going backwards? I don't get it. Anyways, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga interrupt. Jacob said to Cody that last year he took that title from his family, but they need it back. He said if anyone could bring back that title to the family, it sure as hell wouldn't be Jey. And Jey did not like that, so he super kicked Jacob as he should. And then, you know how it is, they all brawled. Now, moving along into the first match of the night, we had another Women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match, Bianca Belair versus Piper Niven. Now, honestly, this was a pretty good match, nothing crazy. Bianca shined, per usual, my queen. But we are on the topic of Bianca, so of course I have to talk about it. I need Bianca and Naomi to break up already. This has gone on for far too long. I needed it to end at the Royal Rumble. If you guys saw my Royal Rumble, preview / prediction video, you would have heard me say that I wanted Bianca and Naomi to already be in the ring, and then Jade come out either at 30 or towards the end, and then Jade confronts her you were the one who took me out, but I'm back, ha ha ha, something like that. That didn't happen, obviously, but now I'm thinking, okay, what if it happens at Elimination Chamber? We didn't think about that. Bianca's already going to be in the chamber, and Naomi has a qualifying match next week on SmackDown. I don't remember who it's against, but is it Michin? No, I don't remember who it is, but she for sure is going to be in that chamber. So to pin Naomi and Bianca against each other is going to be very interesting, and I wonder if it will start going downhill from there. In the end, Bianca Belair won and is now advancing to the Women's Elimination Chamber. Now let's head backstage for a backstage segment with Nick Aldis and Carmelo Hayes. Nick Aldis told Carmelo Hayes that he is going to face a superstar from Monday Night Raw. Carmelo was nervous because the last 2 weeks he's faced Braun Strowman and Damian Priest. But who walks in the door? Akira Tozawa. The reason Tozawa walked in was because Melo cost Tozawa from entering in the Royal Rumble. So now they have a match. And what makes this segment absolutely hysterical is that Carmelo realized that Tozawa isn't a threat, but didn't want anything to change to where it would become an opponent that was threatening. So he pretended that this match was an honor and that it was just such a privilege to wrestle Tozawa, but the sarcasm was hysterical and out of this world. It was so funny. He played it off so well. I just loved it so much. Then we go back out to the ring for a DIY segment. So DIY comes out and they're being perfect heels, might I say. They're trying to put themselves over and the crowd is hating it. They said that they are the best tag team in the world because they've been able to beat the Motor City Machine Guns multiple times and everyone else on the SmackDown roster. They said the chances of the Motor City Machine Guns winning back the tag team championships are dead. They wanted to have a moment of silence, to acknowledge the fact that Motor City Machine Guns will never have a chance again. But during that moment of silence, Pretty Deadly interrupted. And they were basically saying, we're the big reason why you guys still have that title. They kept going back and forth per usual. And Nick Aldis came out. Pretty Deadly was given an opportunity to earn a title shot if they could be DIY right after this segment in a non-title match. So that's exactly what happened. We got DIY versus Pretty Deadly. And honestly, it was a pretty good match. I mean, you guys know how much I love DIY. But might I say Pretty Deadly is very underrated. I mean, I thought they would put on a good match, but they put on a really good match. In the end, Pretty Deadly won, so now they have a title shot against DIY. When? I do not know. That was not announced. Now we go into, spoiler alert, my match of the night, another men's elimination chamber qualifying triple threat match. Yeah, that's right. Triple threat match. We had LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre versus Jimmy Uso. Now, this was a crazy match because these three in the ring are crazy. I felt like I was looking at, I don't even know. I was going to try and make a comparison to what I don't know. They are so set apart. I mean, insane moves and moments, great storytelling as well. I think all three of these guys deserve to be in the chamber, so it was very hard to choose in the moment who I'd want to go and advance. But in the end, Drew McIntyre won and advanced to the men's elimination chamber. Then, obviously, let's take a step back to the Royal Rumble. Or was it the Royal Rumble or Raw? I don't even remember. Was it Raw? It was, no. Wow, I'm blanking. Whatever. Kevin Owens attacked Sami Zayn, and we obviously didn't know why. That was very bipolar of him. And so he posted a video onto X explaining why he did that, and they showed it during Friday Night Smackdown. So here are a few bullet points and little takeaways from that video. Kevin said that Sami is the reason he has all these scars. He said Sami didn't care to save Kevin when Cody was attacking him, but he went quickly to the aid of Roman Reigns when he was being attacked. He said that he is a bad friend, he's terrible, horrible, and he is going to make him pay. Now, this is so interesting to me because obviously, this came out of the blue, and Sami was at Kevin's aid at the Royal Rumble, but didn't do enough. And I think that's kind of where he's coming out with this. Now transitioning into a match, which was the result of a backstage segment from earlier, Carmelo Hayes versus Akira Tozawa. Now, let me just say, Akira ate, okay? He ate because he gave Melo a taste of his own medicine and kicked him during his entrance, which, let's not forget, led us to this match. That was the whole reason of why this match even happened in the first place. So it was a pretty good match. I think both men are good wrestlers and don't get enough credit for all that they do in the ring. Both men I would consider high flyers, so this match was full of fast-paced, fun action. But in the end, Carmelo Hayes won. Now, Got to take a deep breath in for this one. We're going into a hefty segment, okay? We've got Charlotte Flair. Okay, now, ever since Charlotte's return at the Royal Rumble last weekend, she has been at every single show this week. She has been visiting every single champion to see who inspires her. She went to Monday Night Raw to visit Rhea Ripley. She went to NXT to visit Julia. And now she went to Friday Night Smackdown to visit Tiffany Stratton. I wasn't really sure how the crowd was going to receive her. There was definitely a mixed crowd reception. When she got on the mic, she said when the crowd boos, she sees money and that she's wrestling's obsession. She said, and quote, "Did you actually think I was going to come back after 14 months and not win?" She eventually calls out Tiffany Stratton, and this is the main event right here. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Strong Tiffy time chance, though. Semi was expecting that. It's just bone chilling when you have one of the four horsemen right in front of you and you're the one being put over. It's fantastic. So Tiffany said that she's gotten compared to Charlotte ever since she debuted on TV, but at WrestleMania, after she beats her, she will be the one and only Tiffany Stratton. Charlotte said when she talked to Rhea, she saw a kid, but when she sees Tiffany, she sees a child who wants to make her a star. She said if she wants to face her at Mania, she needs to go on her hands and knees and beg. Now, before these two could continue, Nia Jax and Candice LeRae interrupt, which I thought was pretty interesting. Nia said that this, quote, back and forth blonde fight is cute and all, but needs to stop. She continued on to say that she spoke to Nick Aldis, and instead of getting through 5 women at the Elimination Chamber to get her title back, she only has to go through 1. She announces that next week she has a title opportunity against Tiffany, which I think is interesting. And Charlotte wants a piece of that. She says that she's going to stick around next week to keep an eye on that match. And right after that, Alexa Bliss came out. And I was like, oh, hell, we are about to go straight back into Alexa Bliss of 2017 core heel vibes. That's not what happened. She literally did nothing for this segment. But it did segue into another women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match, Alexa Bliss versus Candice LeRae. Now, let me just say, Alexa Bliss is so good. And it's so amazing to have her back. For someone who's been out for 2 years and had a baby, Alexa did so good. Like, she did really good in this match and proved that she can be a threat in the locker room. Now, during the match, the screen purposely glitched, similar to what we saw with the OG Wyatts teasers over a year and a half ago. And I literally was screaming when I saw that. I couldn't really tell if I was excited or not. I was kind of just like in a panic and a disarray. But in the end, Alexa Bliss won with a new finisher. I mean, obviously, we know ever since she kind of started doing a little Wyatt 6 stuff, she would do the Sister Abigail, but she did a new version of that move. And I guess it's her new finisher. It's a Sister Abigail DDT, which was absolutely fire. So she won, and she is now headed to the Women's Elimination Chamber. And I'm curious to see where WWE takes Alexa Bliss in 2025. And I can't wait to see her first feud / storyline, and if she's going to be involved with the Wyatt 6. I mean, we know that her gear at the moment is a tribute to Bray, but does that have anything to do with the Wyatt 6? I know her new and improved Lily doll has a 6 in the eye. She has a patch of Bray Wyatt's gear on her skirt, and in the back it says Friends Forever, aka Fiends Forever. Now, the next thing that happened, it was surprising. Okay, I was shocked. Very, very shocked by how I felt after this and while watching this. The Street Profits had a little video package. They had a little something to tell us. Now, if we remember back at the Royal Rumble last weekend, the Street Profits beat up not only the Motor City Machine Guns, but DIY, and officially turned heel. I mean, they look like they were not somebody to mess with. So this promo is absolute fire, okay? We saw a new side of the Profits, a heel side, a dangerous side, a threatening side. I thought this was probably the best promo that they have ever cut, like, honestly. And I think for the first time I was truly able to take them seriously. I had goosebumps. They said that they always come so close to the titles, but then someone always has to ruin it, but not this time. Then they called out DIY and said that they're coming for them. And that, oh my God, that was so good. And why do I actually believe that they'll win it this time? I don't know. I think they could. I mean, SmackDown's men's tag team roster is absolutely cooking right now, and it's the best it's ever been. I am so hyped for this new version of the Street Profits, and I think if they actually want to make them a threat, they got to take them the whole way through. They got to take them all the way. They got to give them titles, and I think it'll happen. I think it will happen, but I'm just curious to see if they're going after DIY, and Pretty Deadly is also going after DIY. How does that all work out? Because, I mean, we know the Motor City Machine Guns are still kind of going after that gold a little bit. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting in the following weeks. We shall see. But now into the main event, we have Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Now, this was an absolutely fantastic match. This is one of those dream matches I would consider. I mean, there was so much action from both sides. It was just too good. I mean, anytime we get to see Cody and Jay in a match, especially tag teaming, it's absolute gold. In the end, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso won, but after the match, guys, my king returned. After the match, Solo Sikoa came from behind and attacked Cody. I have no idea why he would be after Cody, but all I know is that my king is back, and I'm sat for whatever WWE has in store for us, whatever 5-course meal I'm ready to be served and eat. I am so freaking excited, and I'm actually kind of shocked they brought him back this soon. I thought he was going to be out for a little bit longer. But before I head into my overall thoughts, as I usually do right after the main event, I actually have something we need to discuss very briefly. Over the weekend, WWE had done their yearly sweep, if you will, and I don't even know if it's over. This is just everything I know as of right now. Saturday, February 8th at around 6 p.m. when I'm recording this, WWE has released multiple superstars. And, you know, at the end of the day, whether they were good or bad, whether we liked them or not, they are human beings at the end of the day, and they lost their job. They are unemployed, and I feel so bad for all these people because also this was their dream. Whether it worked out or not, it was. So a few superstars that we found out last night that got released: Sonya Deville, the Authors of Pain, Paul Ellering, and Blair Davenport. I have never been a huge fan of Sonya Deville, but I do really like her, like, in real life. Not that I've met her, but like I used to watch her on Total Divas, Tough Enough, like all this type of stuff, when her and Mandy Rose used to do like ride-alongs and all that, whatever, that type of stuff. I thought she was funny, thought she was cool, but I did not like her on TV at all. Now, Blair Davenport is a huge loss. I think if they weren't going to do anything with her, leave her in NXT. Don't fire her, because then you have people like Kiana James who are still on the roster that you're literally not doing anything with, and you don't fire her. I'm sorry, not to be like a little hypocritical, but I'm just like, it doesn't make sense. Then today, we found out 4 more people that got released: Isla Dawn, the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and Giovanni Vinci. The Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and Giovanni Vinci. I think out of today's list, the biggest loss for me is Giovanni Vinci. I love Giovanni Vinci. I have watched his entire NXT run and everything he's done on main roster, and I just love him, and I wish him all the best. I wish everyone who got released all the best in their future endeavors, because they are all talented, and obviously WWE saw something in them, and I hope that another company can scoop them up, make them big stars, and just amplify what WWE saw. Now, moving along into my overall thoughts, I thought it was a really strong and good and solid SmackDown. I feel like ever since the new year, especially when Raw reached Netflix, SmackDown has definitely stepped up their game, and with the transfer portal, a lot of good stars have transferred from Raw to SmackDown, so we've gotten new fun fresh matchups and have just given us some really great shows. My match of the night was one of the men's Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. It was actually the triple threat match between LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, and Jimmy Uso. I thought that this match was incredible, so entertaining, definitely loved their dynamic all together in the ring. It was just really good in my opinion. Now, my segment of the night was the Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton segment. While it wasn't 100% like amazing out of this world, I definitely do think that SmackDown last night had a lot of great matches, but the segments could have done better. they weren't bad at all. No garbage, but none of them were like a 10 out of 10, you know? And I feel that way with this one. So I really had to like just pull teeth almost and trying to pick which segment was my favorite, but I guess I'd have to land on this one. I love that Charlotte is taking her sweet time to visit each champion at their respective shows to see if they inspire her. I have a feeling at the end, though, we all know she's going to end up picking Tiffy time. I think that it's just a matter of when. Now, overall, I would rate the show about an 8 or 8.5 out of 10. Pretty high rating for SmackDown. Like I said, great matches, but just okay segments. None of them really like stood out to me. But overall, it was a very enjoyable show, and it's definitely getting me very hyped for the Elimination Chamber coming up Is it March 1st? Let me check my phone. It's either March 1st. It is March 1st. March 1st, streaming exclusively on Peacock at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, one more quick note I want to say before I close out this episode. If you are watching on YouTube or Spotify and you see the very naked background behind me, it's literally a plain white wall and a old Yankees poster. Guys, it's official. We are officially going to be working on a new background because you guys know I recently in the new year moved into a new little office space. We changed one of our spare bedrooms into my office. So we're still in the midst of decorating. So if you are one of those viewers that watches the pod, I apologize for the non-aesthetically pleasing background, but it will be changing soon. We're going to paint the wall pink and then get some like fun shelves and like hang up my title belts and all that fun stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Make sure to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Don't forget to follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.